What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. Let's jump into it. I had to take my notes on this one because being that these two had a history, and like I told you, when they put out sparring footage and talk about what happened back in the day, don't mean nothing. It's about the here and now, right? So, before I even get into my notes, and I never take notes, but you know what I'm saying? This is a different situation. Before I even get into my notes, let me say, you see, sometimes it takes something else to happen for people to go back and say, oh, that's probably why, or now I see why homie did that. Example, remember when Ryan was gonna fight before he fought Tank? Tank told you, yo, this dude rehydrates to like 170, 75 pounds, man. Like, so yeah, rehydration costs. Now, the thing is, people look at the weight class and go, yo, but you fought this guy and you didn't make him have a rehydration clause because that guy doesn't go up that much in weight type of situation. And so, now, remember, Ryan was saying, why are you trying to weight drain me? Why are you trying to weight drain me? If you walk around 175 pounds, you can fight at 154. You can fight at 160. Fighters try to stay away from that because they want the advantage by being the naturally bigger guy. Now, I don't even remember what they weighed in the same night, but you could see Ryan look way bigger than Devin Haney. Like, way bigger. Okay? Ryan didn't make weight on purpose. I told you guys. The video I just made, when he missed weight, he's up here drinking beers and all this shit. I'm like, yo, he even said, if I miss weight, I just missed that shit. On an interview before that. And he didn't make weight. So he already was fine. So here's the deal. The fact that he won the fight, but he doesn't win the belt because he got fined and he missed weight. Okay. That right there. Devin said he's open for a rematch. Okay. And that right there, it's like there'll be bigger anticipation for the rematch. Okay, because before I get to my notes, let me say, people are going to want to see what type of adjustments Devin's going to be able to make. Now, if he comes in the rematch and he doesn't make weight again, and it's just the same situation of, okay, he's going to get fined. Like, he needs to make weight, but he did that shit on purpose. His size advantage came into play. And basically, Devin couldn't take his punch, that left hook. Now, let me get into my notes. Now, the first round, Ryan came out, he jumped on him. He hurt him early in the first round. He hurt him twice with the left hook. But then, for some stupid reason, he backs off of him. Like, what are you doing? You know? Okay, and I'm saying because Devin was clearly hurt in the first round. Like, clearly hurt. I don't mean like he got hit and just, stumbled a little bit. You can see he was hurt. Okay, now, round one, I gave to Ryan. Rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I gave to Devin. He was just outworking him. He was landing better shots. He was doing his thing. Now, in the 7th round, that's when this fight just got weird. It got weird to me because Ryan backed off of him when he had him hurt. 7th round, he hurts Ryan again. Okay. I mean, Ryan hurts Haney again. He drops Haney. And I don't know why the hell he backs off, but he hurts him. He drops him. All of a sudden, Haney gets up. Ryan's on the back foot. Like, what are you doing? He got a total of 3 knockdowns in this fight. I saw Haney go down a couple of times, and the ref didn't count his knockdowns. And I know when he took the point away he took a point away from Ryan, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Because I didn't see what happened at first. And I'm looking, but come to find out that he hit Haney on a break. He got a point taken away. But I seen Haney go down 2 times, and it's like he was hurt. He was, and I'm sitting here. As much as I wanted to see Haney win, I'm sitting here going, Ryan, finish the fucking job. Finish him. He has nothing left. Haney punches, got to the point, he had nothing. He was hurt. And he took a pounding from that time, from the 7th round on. It was still rounds with, like, rounds 5 and 6. They were booing, or 5. I know in the 5th round they were booing. Might have been the round he got knocked down. They were booing, whatever. But they were like, think of the 7th round he got when he knocked him down, when he just caught him with that left hook. But bottom line is he was hurting him. Haney couldn't take his punch. Haney was outworking him. But every time Ryan would catch him flush, he would hurt him. And I'm like, why are you backing off of this guy, man? Like, you understand? See, I told you guys, I don't have any emotional attachment to these fighters. I'm looking at Ryan like, bro, you got this man hurt. He has nothing. Finish him. Skill-wise, Haney is actually better than Ryan. Ryan shows me one thing I can say. Haney, at no point in his career, should go to 147. Because he is going to have an issue with bigger, stronger guys. If Haney outgrows 140, it probably would be best for him to retire. He's going to have a problem with big punches that can box, okay, or that have any type of reach. And I felt like Regis wasn't that guy. And the way Ryan clowns and disrespect the sport of boxing is like, as much as I listen, it's more like I was pushing for Haney to win, of course. I ain't gonna throw him under the bus because he lost the fight. But it's because of Ryan's bullshit, stupid antics. It's like, man, it's like he's a fucking clown. But he knew what he was doing. He used his size to his advantage. Now, people blasted David Benavidez for the same situation, him being stripped of his title. Now, I don't know if they're going to strip Devin Haney of the title or what, because he lost the fight. The reason Ryan's not champion right now is because Ryan didn't make weight like a dumbass. But you see, he used his size to his advantage. Now, where he's crying to Tank about, why you trying to weight drain me? But he comes in his fight purposely overweight. I paid the 1.5 million, big deal. He knew what he was doing. So yes, don't think his size didn't come into play, because he surely did. And like I said, I don't remember what the hell he weighed in, the official weigh-in, not the official weigh, like what they rehydrated to, but he looked way bigger than Devin Haney. Like, you could see the size difference. Okay, now also, what was going on in this fight that I didn't like? When Ryan does this shoulder roll shit, he literally turns his head and his back. And the referee, he did warn Ryan about it, but he was warning Devin to stop hitting him in the back. Like, yo, he keeps turning around, man. And that's like, that's just a tactic he shouldn't be able to get away with any fighter. But he does that shit and he turns his head and his back completely. Where the hell is where's Devin supposed to hit him at? Because if he throws up top, now he's hitting him in the back of the head. And it's like, yeah, he's getting hit in the back of the head because he keeps turning his fucking head. So it was just weird, man. The ref was this fight was so damn weird, man. Okay. But, Ryan was going into this fight on the back foot mode. And he just basically is like, yo, you got this dude hurt. And Haney got to the point where he's walking in, following him around the ring. But it got to the point where his punch output started to drop. And even when he was throwing punches, they had nothing on him. So I'm not understanding why Ryan didn't just finish him off, you know. And I'm just sitting there like, bruh, you understand what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Do you know what you're supposed to be doing? Or like, why are you in here? Is the idea to just try to punish him? I don't get it, because you heard him and he was trying to, and I don't think that was the case, because he was trying, like, he tried to jump on him and knock him out, and Devin was holding it, you know, and he was able to survive by holding, but it was like Ryan was backing off, and I just didn't understand this shit. I'm like, man, you got Devin hurt. We know Devin already isn't the biggest puncher. We know he doesn't pack a big punch. He has respectable power, but he got beat to the point where the knockdowns, you know, he had a lot taken out of him, and he had nothing. And I'm like, just trying to figure out what the hell Ryan is holding back for. Like, why is he laying off? Why is he in the back foot? After he go for the kill, he didn't get him out. What he showed you, you see, even to work off his jab, he wasn't really bad. He was barely throwing his jab. And then on the later rounds, he would, you know, at times throw the jab right hand, but he wasn't working off of his jab at all. Haney was landing the 1-2s, you know, doing body work, throwing to the body. He was out fighting him and everything. Once Ryan saw, okay, one punch and I can hurt him, okay, no problem. Ryan didn't show any real killer instinct, any real ring savvy and smarts. He just basically was able to land the shot. And when he was landing it, like I said, he's hurting him. And it's like, bro, he's hitting this dude at will. You see Haney's face, right? Okay. He is like, when I say he's not a boxer at heart, this is exactly what I'm telling you. He has that flash and flare and speed. But he goes in there and like, I don't understand how the hell Haney made it to that 12th round. Like, you understand? I'm wanting Haney to win, and I'm at the point I'm going, Ryan, finish him off. What are you doing? But anyway, you know, he jumps up at the end of the fight. Basically, you know, he's saying he want to run it back. Haney said he's down to run it back. Haney made no excuses, you know, and basically there's no excuse to make. And what I found weird was, like, okay, the unofficial scorecard, they had it scored a draw. Now, my guess on that was, like, they got it a draw because Ryan wasn't really being busy. He wasn't doing a lot. You know, he was being outworked. He was bottom line. But like I said, when he started hurting Devin, and the fact that he was able to hurt him so often and got 3 knockdowns, I'm saying, okay, they must have scored those rounds for Devin Haney where Ryan wasn't that active. But me personally, I thought, nah, Devin lost this fight, you know. So when I heard the unofficial scorecard, I'm thinking, hey, man, like, I'm like this, y'all. Even if I want to see a person win, the point is, I want to see you win, not get gifted a decision. So I felt like if they would have gave that fight to Devin, that would have been an injustice, because he definitely didn't win that fight, in my opinion. You know, he was outlanding Ryan earlier, like from rounds 2 to 6, because I gave Ryan the first round. But 7 through 12, it was all Ryan, even though he wasn't that active, but he was able to get to him and hurt him. And basically, it was like, once they gave the score and I seen the gaps in which, I said, okay, Ryan had to win. And then when he announced his name, it's like, okay, the right fighter got his hand raised. Ain't no excuses. I don't do excuses. And it's like I said, man, it's when I see people carry themselves in a very stupid way until like people think like this is what you need to sell a fight, and he goes, y'all thought I was really crazy and all that. He's doing all this goofy shit and like, but it's like, nah, it ain't about we think you crazy. You show us stupidity, and all we want to do is cover boxing, and you're acting like you're not stable in the mind, right? Even to the point to fight, they want to cancel the fight, and he continued to do it. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, all that goofy shit to me is just a turn off. Now, bottom line, from bell to bell, that's what I'm concerned about. That's what I'm focused on. And Ryan went in there and basically ended up doing what he was supposed to do, but not fully. He got the win, and that's what matters. But it's like, bro, why you didn't just knock Devin out? You had him. And if you can't finish, come on, bro. Putting them punches together, throwing them combinations right. This is what I'm saying. He was just wild, landing. He was looking to land one big shot, and when he wasn't able to land the one big shot, I'm watching to see what Devin is doing, how he's reacting to things, and basically, Devin got the high guard up, right? And there's times where he's leaning in, and in my mind, I'm looking at Ryan like shoot the uppercut up the middle. He wouldn't do it. And it's like, so I'm like, come on, Ryan. Like, and I'm looking back and forth. Now, when you watching the fight and you into what's going on, I'm the type of person, I'm looking at what both guys should be doing back and forth. And that, so I'm watching him. And like with Devin with the high guard, the problem with the high guard, okay, is when you jab. Okay, and then they counter over your jab with the hook. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't snap that jab and step with it, this is what I'm saying. Hey, you're going to get caught. Or it's possible that you're going to get caught depending on your opponent. And I'm watching what Devin was doing, and I'm like, from the very first round when he got hit and got hurt, it looked like he was about to get knocked out. I'm watching this shit. Now you think, because the second round, he recovered, and the second round, things started to change. So you feel like, okay, he's recovered. Seemed like he know what he's supposed to be doing now. But he just couldn't get away from that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like if Ryan was more active. Now, when I say jump on him, he did jump on him a couple of times, but he just didn't get him out of there. And then he back off. You don't have to be a wild man just throwing sloppy shit, but Ryan was throwing sloppy punches at times in the fight regardless. But he won. Bottom line is he won. This is what boxing, how it's supposed to be, that the right person get their hand raised. Let me tell you, if they would have called that shit a draw, I'd have said flat out, because the unofficial scorecard had it a draw. If that fight from the official judges would have been called a draw, I'd be sitting here doing this video saying, nah, that's bullshit, Devin lost. Because he lost that fight in my eyes. So, if they would have called that shit a draw, I would have been like, well, yeah, hey man, they shouldn't. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. But I would have flat out made this video saying, nah, Devin lost that fight. See, this is the type of shit where I don't care how much you like Devin Haney. I like Haney as a fighter. I still like him as a fighter. I'm not, like I said, I'm not throwing him under the bus because he lost a fight. But don't sit here and make excuses and say he won that fight because he didn't. All of that fake hatred just to come over there. The first time he went to go try to hug Devin ain't really, probably was disappointed, whatever. He didn't really want to be bothered. And he came over and finally came over and gave him a hug and, whatever. Once again, the fake hype doesn't make me interested in the fight. Now, if they do the rematch, and Devin said he's down for it. If they do the rematch, hopefully Ryan is professional enough to make weight. Because like I said, if you do the same thing again and it ends up being he's coming in there already missed weight, now he's coming in there extra heavy. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Bernard Hopkins jumps in the ring and starts running his. But Bernard is like, he's an asshole, man. But he's too fucking old to be so stupid. Like straight up. But Bernard is just a clown. I'm like, man, why don't you shut the fuck up and let Ryan talk and let Ryan do what he has to do. Let him, this is his night, not yours. Motherfucker, you ain't box. You don't box anymore. You know, he's an asshole, man. But you know, remember everybody was calling Errol Spence a weight bully. Yeah, this is the same type of shit where, and they calling him a weight bully not because he missed weight, but because they feel like, yo, he should be fighting at a higher weight class. You know, and think about this. Physically, I told you guys last year, Devin Haney, physically, as he grows, his body keeps growing, he'll probably be able to go up to 154. Okay, but he doesn't have a chin for 154 pounds, and he doesn't have a chin for 147 pounders. He doesn't. You see, and this is the thing. Devin is a fighter that he definitely needs to fight at a smaller weight than his actual walk around weight, because, or even closer to it, because he has respectable power, but he doesn't have this like really devastating power. And the thing with that is, when you're in a tough fight and fatigue sets in, that lack of power is that's when it comes back to haunt you. You understand what I'm saying? So there's levels to this shit, man. And basically, you know, with all the stupid shit, and if you read comments and you hear people talking, everybody was annoyed with Ryan because of his antics, the stupidity, all of this goofy, you know, unprofessional WWE style nonsense. Like, we don't want to see that. We don't care for that. We don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever happened to just being dedicated to your craft, man, and just being a solid fighter. Now, for all the guys that didn't want to fight Devin Haney, Ryan was one of them. You know, when he was his mandatory, and he didn't do it, he turned it down. Those same fighters now, I'm pretty sure Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, all these different fighters are going to be jumping on X, typing in, this and this, and giving their opinions on things. But my thing with this whole fight is Ryan didn't close the show. And that right there is not something that you want to do as a fighter. You know, and if Ryan, and here's the thing, if Ryan would have actually made weight, disciplined enough to actually make weight like he was supposed to, and, you know, he might have went in there, you know, like this being that he didn't gain so much weight, it might have been a different story. And this is what I'm saying. So it's like unprofessional for any fighter to do that. But I'm not going to sit up here and say that Ryan lost that fight, because he didn't. Always know it should have been a draw because the unofficial scorecard said it. You know, and I'm making this clear because, like I said, man, I don't have any emotional attachment to nobody. Nobody. None of these fighters. So same thing I was saying about David Benavidez when he kept missing weight. Like, bro, you know, you need to be professional and make weight. You really do. And this is one of the reasons why when he was talking about the Bridger weight, and I remember he was talking about, they asked Mauricio Sulaiman would he ever think about making like a super heavyweight division. And if you guys remember, I spoke about that for you that may not remember. And what I said was no. That would be probably the worst division in the sport. And what it would do is prevent fighters from really getting in the best shape that they should be in. And you'd have guys coming near 350 pounds pot bellies and everything else. Like, no, we don't need no damn super heavyweight division. And to be honest with you, um, that's one of the reasons that people fight at smaller weights, and usually, especially guys that really can punch. So now, when you look at when Tank was like, nah, hell no, rehydration clause, he can only gain a certain amount of weight. I didn't knock Tank for that. Tank antics started to annoy me. You understand what I'm saying? Because Tank fights that he should be taking, that he could take, he don't. You understand what I'm saying? He don't. So here's my thing. With Tank being a smaller guy in height, the way he fights, it may stylistically be harder for him to get to Devin. We know Tank got the power to knock Devin out, to knock Ryan out, to knock. We already know he got the power. He already beat Ryan. We already know Tank has that. But when I say to you guys, when I say, yo, Tank is just different from them guys, and people, no, Tank ain't fighting nobody, stop. Tank is different. If Tank catches him, same way, Tank can drop him as well. The thing is, Devin showed heart. He kept getting up, and when he got up, he was the one going forward. Unless, except for the times Ryan, tried to jump on him, try to get him out. But then after he doesn't get him out of there, and Dev's holding on, Ryan starts retreating. Ryan doesn't know if he wants to be a boxer or a puncher. Ryan is a puncher, basically. I mean, you could say boxer, puncher, but he's more of a puncher because really he doesn't box, man. He just basically, what he has that works for him is his speed and his power. But at the end of the day, his size came into play, his power came into play, but definitely him being, he looks so much bigger. If you guys didn't see the fight, when you do, you'll see he looks so much bigger than Devin Haney. And, it's your job as a professional to make weight. So you go up, just imagine this, for people who overlook, we have weight classes for a reason, right? If you make weight and then you wind up, I don't know what they said they hydrated up to, but that motherfucker looked way bigger than Devin. So for a guy that walks around, just say 170 pounds, 175 pounds, and you're fighting at 140, it's easy for you to go up 165 or something like that. It's easy, and even like sometimes you see a situation where one guy may say he rehydrated, just say if they fighting at 140, and it say the guy, it says one guy is 168 and the other 165. Right? Just say. Now that's a 3 pound difference on paper, but physically you look and you like, nah, this motherfucker look way bigger than 3 pounds over this dude. He looked way bigger. But, once again, these are tricks of the trade. And these are things that people do. But it's unprofessional as fuck because, for you to miss weight on purpose. And I told you, why do you think he got up there and drank that beer on top of it? He knew before he got on that scale that he was overweight. And when he announced his weight, what did he do? He over there flexing. And he didn't give a fuck. He knew what he was doing. And he knew by missing weight that he cut less weight and he was going to rehydrate up like he wanted to. That was part of his plan. So, I'm not looking at it like, yo, he went in there for the great fight. No, I'm looking at it like they went there and they did what they did, but he used a dirty tactic that worked to his advantage. That's what he did, factually. Okay? But at the end of the day, it went down the way it went down. And he got the win. So for Devin Haney, now that Ryan knows he can hurt Devin with one shot, for the Haneys to do a rematch, they probably going to put a rehydration clause in it this time, where he can't go up to, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, they're probably gonna make noise about that in the coming days and weeks if they actually gonna do a rematch, because pretty much your size comes into play. Now, when Canelo went up to fight um, Kovalev and he knocked him out, remember there was a time where he was, talking about going up to cruiserweight to fight this guy, and this was after his trainer said they didn't want Canelo to stay at light heavyweight because they didn't want him to give up too many advantages. Shorter reach, shorter in height, physically smaller than these bigger guys. So when he decided that he wanted to go and fight at cruiserweight, it's like, okay, if he's too small for light heavyweight, how is it that he's going to go fight at cruiserweight, right? It's one thing to dare to be great, but there's another thing too, to like just do something that everything works against you. If that guy would have beat Canelo, and I forget the guy's Makabu or whatever, but I've seen him fight. Decent, nothing special. Canelo, what might have worked against Canelo is if Canelo wasn't able to really hurt him, and him just being naturally bigger and stronger, that could have came into play. But honestly, that dude was not that good, and I believe the fight didn't happen because nobody really cared about that fight because this guy was really unknown, and it's like it would have been an accomplishment that, okay, he went up and got a title at cruiserweight. But at the same time, he also could have went up and lost to this guy simply because he was just too big. So this is why when the Canelo fans were saying he was too small for Bevo, that's the only reason he lost, you guys was cheering, talking about, that's Canelo. Canelo could probably go to heavyweight. Yo, this dude is, Canelo's different. Canelo's from a whole other planet. So if he wasn't too small for cruiserweight, then he can't be too small for light heavyweight. No different from a guy that rehydrates and comes in there and he's way bigger than you. You understand what I mean? Once you accept something, then it is what it is. You understand what I mean? So the same way Ryan accepted the rehydration clause against Tank, but he's sitting there talking about, why are you trying to weight drain me? He's like, nah, nobody's trying to weight drain you. You accepted the terms. So deal with it. Okay? So the same way. The fight wasn't canceled because he didn't make weight. He just had to pay a fine. But that dude came in there way bigger. Okay? Way bigger than Devin Haney. And so the truth of the matter is like he was fighting a guy in a whole other weight class. Like I said, I don't care what it said on paper. Physically, that motherfucker was way bigger than Devin. But listen, this is a part of the sport, man, where like you have certain people. It's like, just think, when a fighter decides he want to fight someone, like when Canelo fought Kovalev, short notice, bam, and Kovalev took the fight. You understand what I'm saying? You can't take the fight and then bitch about it later. He took the fight, but he got short notice. So those things happen. But hey, listen, man, it was the type of fight where if you didn't see the fight, when you do, you will see what I mean. This was just a weird ass fight. It was just a weird fight, man. And like I said, I'm watching this dude hurt, and like Haney had nothing. Haney had nothing, man. It was to the point his legs wasn't under him. His punches had nothing on him. It was, I think, was it the 11th round? One of the rounds, whatever, he dropped, he dropped the one, I think, with a right hand this time instead of a left. But whatever, he drops Devin, and he's walking to Devin with his hands down. He's talking shit to him. And it's like, now it could have been that he realized that Devin pretty much didn't have nothing left. But my whole thing was, and he wanted to, humiliate him. But he tried to knock him out. He just didn't. It didn't happen because, like I said, Devin was holding on. But he would just back off with Devin and just let him man, finish him, get it over with, man. Just get it over with. You understand what I'm saying? Like, knock him out in the fucking fight. You know, um, that's the kind of shit that Ryan can't afford to do with the skillful fighter that can crack. Because at the same time you do that shit and somebody wind up knocking you out. Now, maybe he didn't fear Devin's power, but Devin caught Ryan with a shot. It, was it the second round? One of them rounds. He kind of buzzed Ryan, but he didn't have him like wobbling around, but he buzzed him. Was caught with a good shot. So it was like a lot of hesitation on both sides, but Devin was doing more work till he got rocked in that seventh round. And it was just weird. And like I said, I'm looking at the referee like, yo, the dude just went down 2 more times. His legs is gone. And it's like, okay, but the ref didn't count them shits as knockdowns. That would have been 5 in total. Whatever. But 3 officials knockdowns. And I'm like, damn, boy, like you got this dude hurt. Get him the fuck out of there, man. Plain and simple. But it was a good fight, but a weird fight. It was just one of those fights, man. Like, I'm watching this shit, and I'm saying to myself, like, because Shakur last performance didn't look good, right? And everybody started bashing Shakur. I forgot who it was. I think it was Jojo Diaz. Might have been one of them fights. But all these fighters always want to criticize the other fighter if they don't have the best showing. Shakur Stevenson just went through it. So I'm pretty sure now Shakur's sitting up here, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure he done tweeted something by now, talking his shit. But this is what these fighters do. And the same way he had a bad night, no. Let me rephrase that. I don't like the bad night stuff so much. The same way he gave an underwhelming performance, it can happen again. You understand what I mean? But at least Devin was fighting. Shakur was barely throwing anything. But this is what they do. Now they gonna clown and talk shit back and forth. And you know how that goes. Once a fighter have a fight where the fight don't go for them the way they wanted it to go, the first thing that starts happening is now fighters who normally doesn't want to fight them start calling them out. Now they want to make the fight happen. I respect the hustle that Bill and Devin has, because when you start fighting the best guys in your division, that's what's going to happen. You can lose because you're fighting the best guys in your division, but all the bullshit antics, like, it's weird, especially for Ryan, because it's like, bro, you're older now. You act more immature now than you did when you were younger. You don't need to do all that stupid shit, man. Like, the fuck, like, what are you trying to do? So, the thing about his win is people with the casual mindset, they're going to applaud that bullshit. Like, yeah, boxing needs, no, boxing doesn't need that shit. But yeah, I'm never the type of guy that know a guy really lost but say he won. Nah. If I feel you won, I'm gonna say I think you won. If I feel you lost, I'm gonna say I think you lost. What I say doesn't matter if it's different from what the judges say. I can't overturn what they say, but I do feel that definitely, the right guy got his hand raised. So, and I'm saying what I'm saying because I know people that know I wanted to see Devin win. Don't make excuses, man. I never make no excuses. Don't make any excuses. The dude got his ass whooped, man. He was whooping. He was outboxing Ryan and getting the shots in. From the second round to the sixth. First round, 7 through 12. Now if there were no knockdowns scored, then, still depending on how the fight went, then maybe a possible draw. Depends. In fact, too, you got to remember, it was that Ryan's own fault. the one round would have been a 10-8 round because he knocked Ryan. He got 2 knockdowns on Devin, but he got the point taken away. So then it went back to a 10-9 round. So you understand what I'm saying? He still won. He still won. So, but yeah, if it wasn't for that, it would have been, he would have had that 10-8 round. I mean, but and not to mention, even when Devin didn't go down, he put real hurt on Devin. Devin outboxed Ryan, but he didn't do the damage to Ryan like Ryan did to him. He just landed. He was landing some shots, yeah, but you know, and you got to also remember, like I said, him coming in much bigger. He's getting hit by a much smaller guy at this point. So he used all of that to his advantage, man. But like I said, that's boxing, man. And once you agree to something, then it's on you. So now when you look back and think, when Tank said, nah, and Tank even said, yo, damn right, I'm putting the rematch clause in the face. I mean, this dude walk around like 175 pounds. He was like, so the hell, he gonna rehydrate to like back like 170. Why wouldn't I, put a rematch clause? I mean, a rehydration clause. And that's why he kept, now you know why Ryan kept telling Tank, fight him at 140. Yeah, now you know why he kept saying that. But this is what I'm saying. So, but Tank's antics, like I said, I didn't fault him for that. My thing with Tank was just the simple fact that if he is gonna have guys having rematch clauses, I'm sorry, not rematch clauses, rehydration clauses at 135 pounds. Remember when he was saying he was going to 140 to fight Conor Ben? This is when I'm like, so what is he going to do now? If you have 135 pounds with rehydration clauses, then you're going to do the same thing at 140 pounds. What, you got guys that's just bigger and stronger naturally. But if you're doing all of that, right, why not just fight Shakur at 135, right? Because guys like Frank Martin, there's other guys that's on the come up. There's good fighters there that don't have the names yet, the star power yet. Not that they don't deserve it, not that they don't deserve a shot. But you can't say Frank Martin or any of those other guys, you'd rather see him fight them than Shakur Stevenson, right? So this is what I'm saying, man. You cannot for me, put like that, I don't respect the whole idea of I'm going to make people go through this rehydration clause situation if I'm going up in weight, right? Like, for example, they didn't do that to Mario Barrios, right? But physically, Mario Barrios don't rehydrate up to 170 pounds. You understand what I mean? So he wasn't worried about that. He said he'd fight Devin Haney and he wouldn't put the rehydration clause. No, he said he'd fight him without a rehydration clause. He said that. And I told you the only reason that he would do that with Haney is because he doesn't fear Haney's power. You understand what I mean? But the thing with Haney is Haney's discipline. He's going to make weight. You see what I'm saying? But, he knew the deal. And that's why. But now you know why. This is my point. Now you know why he had Ryan with the rehydration clause. It wasn't to try to drain him. They both had to make 135. It was just the point that afterwards, bro, you're going to be walking around like 170 fucking pounds. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So now you see. And Tank is a much smaller guy physically, in height and body weight. So that's why he did what he did. That's why he did what he did. I just don't like the way Tank be acting like a dealer. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But yeah. Salute Ryan for doing what he's doing. He could lose the clown goofy shit. I'm never going to support that. And like I said, you got too many people, monkey see, monkey do. People like to come with this, this fake bullshit. And what did I tell you? He's doing all of this shit. At the end of the fucking fight, they're going to embrace and all this so-called sportsmanship after all of this dumb shit. Like, nah. But he had the excuses ready in case things didn't go his way. But he went there and he won. That's all there is to it. But yeah, I wouldn't suggest that Devin Haney goes up in weight. I wouldn't suggest he goes up in weight. 140 is it for him. 140 is it for him. And one thing that I see, like I said, because when you go up, the higher you go up, there's going to be harder punches. And when your punching power starts to fade with fatigue, that could be the reason you lose. And that played a part tonight. Because if you watch what happened, he got to the point where his punches was just nothing. And Ryan saw that. But once again, that's why I'm like, man, Ryan is not a well-rounded fighter, man. Ryan has speed and power. His size all came into play tonight. And, he still didn't go in there and finish this guy off. It's just like, you watch an animal hunt. They run and they grab their prey, right? Or they fighting for it. You see this motherfucker wounded. You know what I'm saying? You got him on, can't even use this leg for support. They going for the throat at some point. They ain't gonna sit there and just wait and wait. Let me just wait and let him die. No, let me get him out of here. He's food now. Yeah, I mean, Haney survived it. But I'm sitting there like, Ryan, just knock the motherfucker out, get it over with. Get him out of here. The fuck are you waiting for? But he showed you, man. He might even say he had pity on him. He might, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't understand, is sometimes people try to be careful because they're like, when you look for the knockout, then you get knocked out, whatever. But I understand why he jumped on him and then he lay off. And he just stopped fighting. And it's like, what are you doing? But yeah, this was a weird ass fight, man. Like I said, it was a good fight, but weird as fuck at the same time, man. Like it was just weird. And if there's gonna be a rematch, man, they're gonna. I believe strongly they're gonna say, look, he can't rehydrate past a certain weight the same way, like But it is unprofessional to not make weight. And if you got to use those type of advantages to get a win, then it just shows like you are not dependent solely on just your talent and your skill. So say what you want about Tank in that situation, though. Tank is smarter than that. He's like, nah, motherfuckers like I be in there fighting a damn light heavyweight. So it is what it is. But yeah, man, he came back in the 7th round. Like I said, first round, 7 to 12 was all right. It was all right. And he wasn't even throwing that much. I remember him jumping on him too in the 12th round. And like you thinking, okay, he's gonna close the show, but he just couldn't do it. It's like, bro. So now Ryan, he's taller than Haney too. He may be able to go to 147 and hold his own in terms of his size. I would definitely put money if he fought like Jerron Ennis. I put money that Jerron Ennis would knock Ryan Garcia out. He would definitely knock him out. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a whole different ball game. So when you hear Ryan saying he wants to knock out Terrence Crawford, now I was looking at this thinking, okay, I can't see Crawford wasting his time with Ryan, and the fact that Crawford has a fight coming up at 154. Now, I don't know if he's going to do what Haney did and relinquish all the belts and then just become a full-fledged 154-pounder. Because if he's going to hold on to the belts, well, at some point, he's going to have another mandatory, right? And if you're going to hold on to the belts, then you need to fight at that weight. So if he does relinquish the titles and go to 154 and stay there, Ryan may wind up coming up to 147. And the fact that there'll be vacant titles there, well, at some point, if he's at 147, then yeah, that'll be the biggest test for him at 147 would be, Jerron Boots Ennis is clearly the best fighter at 147. So that would be, his test. But I see Boots knocking him out, like flat out. I see Boots knocking Ryan out. And don't get me wrong, Ryan did what he had to do, but it's the way he did it. Him going up to 147, it don't matter if he rehydrates up to 175. I don't know what Boots walk around at, but Boots, that's a different kind of power coming at him. Boots is different, and that would be different, a whole different fight. And one thing you can't do, like I said, especially like with guys that can punch, is if you hurt a guy and you can't finish him, you can definitely, you can wind up getting rocked. But I don't see him beating Jerron Boots Ennis. And he's claiming he wants to go to 147, so we'll see how it goes. Now, does he rematch Devin Haney, then go up to 147, or does he stay at 140 for a little while, and then who knows? So now, guys like Teofimo Lopez, who is shorter in height, we ain't gonna talk about Robbie Romero. But looking at who's at 140, let's just say that this rematch happens and it happens next. You still have the Josh Taylors, you still have, Teofimo, Catterall. There's still guys at 140. We'll see how things go though. But now, one hand people will say, see, if Ryan made weight, he'd be champion. But then again, if he made weight, he might not be champion. We don't know. But I'm telling you, his size came into play tonight. Don't think it didn't, because it did. That's why it's different with heavyweights. Why you think Tyson Fury came from 253 to 273 when he fought Deontay? Better punch resistance. And there's no such thing as a rehydration clause with the heavyweights. you come in there as heavy as you want to. So that was the purpose. Use that weight to his advantage. Why you think he's coming down in weight to fight the smaller, faster Usyk? See? Okay, it's a different fight. And that 273 will work against him against a guy like Usyk, even though people don't understand that. Because Usyk's a different type of fighter. And the bigger you are, the slower you are. So yeah, it's a different thing. They don't have those type of advantages at the smaller weight classes. And this is why I don't knock a fighter who's fighting a naturally much bigger person and they have their rehydration clause when you're able to do it. Because think about it, when you're the B side and you don't call the shots, he can say, fuck that, I'm gonna come in there as big as I want to come in there, right? Now it's up to you to take the fight or not take it. As long as they, and as long as you understand, as long as a guy can get away with something, a fight. Some guys, everybody's not honest. Some guys, they don't care about the advantage. If whatever advantages that they can have work on their side, yeah. It's like when we was talking about Crawford and Spence. What I say, you can't say Crawford is wrong for saying the rematch is at 147 and 147 only. It's just because he said, oh, we could definitely do it at 154. Then he changed his mind. You understand what I mean? But now he wants to fight somebody at 154. He has a fight coming at 154 for a title. Now, remember, I'm the one who said the only reason that he would be fighting Spence at 154 would simply be to say, okay, this is the weight you feel comfortable at. Now I'm going to beat you at 154. He's not contracted to do it, so he doesn't have to do it. The thing was, if he goes to 154 and fights somebody else, then why couldn't you fight Spence at 154? Now, the difference in fighting for a title is, well, it's for a title. You understand what I mean? But, things are going to happen. People are going to fight what they're going to fight. And at the end of the day, it comes down to what? Who can implement their game plan come fight night. And if implementing your game plan means I'm depending on this extra weight to help me as well, then yeah, so be it, because that's what's going to happen. Like, I can tell you something, right? I remember I wanted to run in this marathon, and I'm not a small guy, and most runners are like lean. They don't have like any real, like, they're not big muscle. They're like skinny and cut. And I remember I had came down to about, from 255, I had came down to about 230. And I remember running that marathon. When I got back to the hotel, probably about 2 hours after that, I remember I went and took my shower, I went and laid down. When I got on the scale, I was 226. I actually lost weight in that marathon. The next morning, when I got on the scale, I was 249. The following day, I was 255. So you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's different, man. And everybody's body don't react the same way. But my point is, I'm not a small guy. So I could make a certain weight, fight night, whatever that weight's supposed to be. Well, like for me, for example, I'm saying, for me to go in the ring, I wouldn't cut weight. I'd come in at my natural weight. As a heavyweight, I don't have to cut. You understand what I mean? And there's no, my best fight weight is no. I don't need to try to go over my regular walk around weight. And that's a gift, because a lot of people can't fight at the weight they walk around at effectively, or as effective as a lighter weight. And it never affected me. But once again, if I'm walking around like in this era of time, you have what they call bridgerweights. That's just a heavyweight to me. It was just a different title. You understand what I'm saying? So just because you call yourself a bridgerweight don't mean you can't knock out a guy 250, 260. But it's a lot different when you fighting a guy that can fight, that can take a punch, and can give it back to you. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So just saying. And one of the first things, like when you have a good big guy versus a good small guy, who usually wins? And the first thing they're going to tell you is, yeah, the size made a difference. So bottom line is, let's just say, for example, if I came in, let's just say at the weigh-in I was 235, but fight night I'm 255, and my weight goes from 253 to 255. So let's say I'm that weight. That dude that I'm fighting came in 225. Fight night, he's 225 or 227. Okay, that means he's still a lot smaller than I am. And the weight, it's going to play a difference. So, and it depends on the fighters. How good you are. But yeah, what happened. And Ryan did his thing, man. Plain and simple. So, whatever adjustments that, now even though Ryan came in heavier, for them to do a rematch, they definitely, Haney's gonna have to study that fight, and look at why you was getting caught, what you should have been doing to not get hit with that shot, and how what you need to do to counter that shot. And when a guy like Ryan, like the way he was fighting, I'm looking at Devin like, man, you see that old school shit of keeping your shit here. So when you shoot your jab, if they come across, because when you throwing this shit right here, the guys do this and they shooting here, your chin is up in the air. And you know people try to counter over with the hook, over a jab. So you shooting your shit here, and you want an angle to it when he shoots something. If it come over, it ain't got nothing to really hit. You understand what I'm saying? And you step with your jab. But what Haney was coming, and he was shooting it from the high guard. And that's how he was getting counted, because his hands is here, and he getting clipped. That's a temple shot. You understand what I'm saying? But those old tricks people don't remember, or they was never taught. They was never taught, so they don't understand that. And I'm watching him like, you know. And when he got hit with the first right hand from the very beginning, it's like, okay, left hand, the left hook, and he got hit again with that shit. Got hurt. He was hurt bad. And then when it happened again in the seventh, it was like, okay. A couple of times Ryan had just missed the shots. A couple of times where Haney fired his left hook and just missed. But, you know, and that's the difference. It's like having a little brother. You're bigger than him, right? Stronger than him. Then all of a sudden y'all get to a certain, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, damn, he ain't little brother no more physically. So you don't have those advantages over him anymore. So sometimes y'all could be equals, and it just depends on how things go as time goes on. But yeah, I just want when y'all see, for y'all that didn't see it, I just want when y'all do see the fight, yeah, y'all talk to me in the comments about it. Like, yeah, it was a good weird ass fight, man. It was drama in the fight. It was just weird, man. But like I said, stylistically, I don't like how Ryan do that shoulder roll shit. He completely turns his head. Literally, when you throw a shit, he literally turns his fucking head. You understand? When you do the shoulder roll, you seen Floyd and his father do it. You seen James Toney do it. They're not turning their fucking heads. They're here. They're here with you. You understand? They're with the upper body movement. Ryan literally turns his fucking head completely around and turns his back. And like that kind of shit is like, all right. He just kept going to that shoulder roll. And as I'm watching him, I'm like, that's why he's doing that shit. Because the ref is telling Devin Haney to stop hitting him in the back. It's like, bro, tell him to stop turning the fuck around. And he did give him that warning, but he still continued to do that shoulder roll shit throughout the fight. But yeah, when he does that shit, it's like, all right. It's like, for example, I remember when I first said this, and now a lot of people are saying the same thing. When Usyk fights Fury, it's like, yo, I remember the video I made. I said Usyk is probably, if he's smart, him and his team, they're gonna tell the referee, yo, look, Fury loves to rush in and hold you and then try to put his weight on you and walk you back. Right? All of the little things that Fury does, like Fury he'll throw his jab. And you know the referees, they don't want you to do this and hold your hand out. Fury would throw his jab first, but he runs in with the jab, try to club you with the right hand. And he waits to see where you are. So when you go back, you're going straight into the ropes. He loves to do that. And the first thing you do when you hit the ropes is what? You slide and move down. And then Fury puts his weight in. So I expect them to complain about that, to like make that known. So when the fight happens, the ref is going to warn Fury to stop doing that shit. Why? Because he does it all the time. Look at fighters who would hit and hold. Their corners will complain. So fight night comes, and they're in that dressing room, any concerns with it, they tell, hey, look, man, he loves to hit and hold. Why? It's a concern, so the ref can make him stop. So now, if you hit and hold and the ref is warning you, you're going to wind up getting the point taken away. So now you got to find a new strategy. So that type of stuff. But, you know, like I said, it's all a part of the game where you got to understand what you're dealing with and let you and your team, y'all have y'all concerns. You focus on the fighter, let your cornerman deal with the ref and all that. But, like, bottom line, like, these are the type of things you got to understand. Remember how Bernard Hopkins used to fight guys and get in the inside? And Bernard would turn guys. So the referee's here. Bernard would make sure he's on the side where the ref can't see. He would hold your arm hand and hit you with the other hand while he's holding it. Bernard this. You know, these are tricks of the trade, man. You know, and another thing, if you ever seen fighters do this shit, is when you walking in, and the fighter would like put his head on the side of your head, and he like rub his hair across your eyes. Oh yeah, and when he rub his hand, what they do? They on the inside, right? So imagine somebody's like my head is. Imagine my hand is somebody else's head, and they rub the okay. Try to do that. The shorter fighters like to do that, and then when they rub it across, right hook or whichever hand they do on the left side, they come with the hook on the other. To follow behind it. Little dirty tricks that people do, but if they don't get caught doing it, you understand what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, good job, Ryan Garcia. He went in there and like I said, I'm not like highly impressed by nothing that fucking happened. I just knew. Remember I said, man, like all this talking he doing, and it's gonna come to all his hands, like like all this fake hatred stuff. But I just looked at the shit, and I'm just like, he did what he was supposed to do in the ring, and the fact that they, he got fined, but the fight went on. He went in there way bigger than Devin, and he did what he did. And once again, I don't give a fuck what it said. They weighed on paper. He was way bigger than Devin. Way bigger. So, and this is where you got to look at, you have to look at, other fights and see when certain guys complained about certain things and people were like, oh man, he acting like a bitch. Like, no, he's not. He's smarter than what you think he is. So that's what I said. It's funny. If you could do like a video side by side and play one where you got Ryan telling Tank, why you trying to weight drain me? No, he's not trying to weight drain you. He's just making sure you're not coming to that motherfucker like way too big. That's all. And then look at when he was on the scale drinking the beer, and then when they weighed, gave his weight, he over here flexing and posing like, bro, you missed weight. The fuck you flexing for? We done seen fighters try to hit the steam room and do kind of all this shit. And what they do, they come out butt ass nigga. They like have a towel put in front of them or something, anything to try to make weight. Bottom line, he knew what he was doing. So it worked for him. But I don't salute that, I don't salute the dirty shit. But like I said, people will get away with what they can. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I will catch y'all on the next video.